Hello and welcome to Guru Talk, the YouTube channel of Vishwaguru. I am Ramesh, the founder of Vishwaguru. In this video, we discuss about the suspecting and prospecting, which is a very important integral part of any sales management activity. This suspecting and prospecting, such an important topic, was dealt with by my good friend Mr. Prabal Ghosh in one of the webinars conducted a few months back. I hope many of you would have attended and then definitely understood and then remembering still the hot discussions we had in that webinar. For those of you not attended, I give here in the description box the link which you can use and go through the webinar at your free time. Now, what is suspecting and what is prospecting? Suspecting is basically to decide who are the people whom you are going to work with. Basically, the whole idea of suspecting and prospecting is to get the clear number of customers whom we are going to really work with. When I ask somebody how many customers you have, he will tell me 100. For example, I said, how 100? He will possibly tell me who are all the customers in the market. But not every customer in the market can be your customer. There are manufacturers, but they cannot be your customer. Then who are all my customers? Those who qualify to be your customer are customers. What do you mean by that? Customers are customers. They are manufacturing. They have the requirements. I can supply. Sure, definitely you can supply. They are manufacturers. They have the requirements. But I'll just give a small anecdote of what I have and my personal experience, which you'll understand better. When I was doing my sales activity few decades before in the cluster of Tirupur, I used to sit in the hotel and start eating some breakfast. Next to the table, there will be some people sitting and talking about, some customer. Then I overheard, so big customer, big potential, etc. I was still not visiting that customer. Immediately from there, I went to the customer, example. Okay. This is not a good thing. I am telling you, this is not the good thing. I am sure that none of you must be doing something like that today, but still, I am just giving a word of caution that on hearsay, you cannot go to a customer. Okay. Tomorrow, if somebody tells you this, there's a big customer, you can't just rush and put your efforts with that customer. So, because, you know why? Because selling cost is something very important for an organization. Okay. Amount of time spent by a salesman in the market is very, very important. Really scarce in that sense, actually. Okay. You have to really be clear about which customer you are going to spend that much time. How much time? Very clearly you have to decide. How will you decide? You must decide the focus customer list. What I can do? First of all, I have to identify who are all the customers in the market available for me to work. What is available? Basically, based on my company product, my product list and my philosophy, my company financial strength, everything, I have to decide about which geography I have to work, which type of customers I have to work, which type of manufacturers I have to work. For example, if it is textile industry, I have to decide about should I go to all India basis, should I go to only south of India, north of India, etc., etc. Should I focus only on the cluster like Tirupur or Surat or everywhere? Or within that also, or am I going to go to knitwear customers or oven customers or yarn dyeing customers? I have to be clear about that kind of segmentation. One that is clear, how to get this information. This information you can easily get from secondary source like internet or the association list or even from your friends and colleagues in the market and things like that. So based on the data, sit in the office, analyze those customers, list down those customers in terms of the bigger to smaller customers. Okay. For example, you kind of narrow down to 100 customers of that. They are called suspects. Okay. Once the suspect is done, then you have to find the prospects of it. How will you do it? For example, while listing down those suspects, okay, from the secondary data, you will come to know that each customer must be doing, let's say, 5 tons production, 10 tons production, and things like that. Okay. You have to validate this data. They may not be sometimes true also. So you have to visit those customers possibly, or understand them little more about from your friends and colleagues, okay, and then you kind of filter that list of 100 customers to identify who are all the actual real good customer to work with, okay. It can be in terms of payment. For example, some of them must be really bad pay master, just neglect them. Some of them will never change the product, neglect them. So there are many methods by which you can neglect, you can kind of filter that list and then bring it to, let's say, 30, 40, whatever. This becomes a prospects, okay. Once you decide the prospects, okay, you have to understand, you have to really further fine tune it. How will you do it? Go meet those customers, understand their customers really thoroughly in and out about whether they have really that kind of production activity, their export is good, or their whatever, their order pipeline is good, their financial strength is good, their financial habits are good, and my company philosophy suits your company philosophy. There are many things you have to understand actually, okay. And then understand the need, whether they have need for your product or your offering. Sometimes what will happen is you have a beautiful product and very good, it can solve some of the very burning problem in the market and the industry. But that particular customer is not having a problem, similar problem, or he is not in the position today to solve his problem, or he doesn't want to spend money and time to solve his problem. If that is so, it's waste of time for you to again go knock the head on this customer to push your product. So with this kind of understanding with this customer about the need of this customer, you decide whether it is worth working with this customer or not. Then they become a qualified prospects, okay. Once you decide the qualified prospect, who can be for example, possibly 10 or 15, okay, then you start putting your efforts with that customer. Then only real understanding of the customer happens, then meeting the customer happens, the presenting your offer, then trials, etc., negotiation. So the entire sales process starts only after you decide about the qualified prospects. Means you start with the suspecting, which is more like a secondary data churning, and then you identify, let's say, 100 customers, okay. And then from that you come to come to the prospects who possibly can be 40 customers after negating some of the customers in terms of their potential or the quality of their activity or their financial, etc., etc. Come to prospects of 40 customers, okay. Then visit those 40 customers and then try to understand their need and their the ability to use the product and their willingness to pay and things like that, and then decide about the qualified prospects. Once you decide the qualified prospects, you have to put your heart and soul to work with that person. What is the use of this elaborate? It looks elaborate, but it is a very simple job. I mean, don't think that it is going to consume you months together to do that, okay. Suspecting can be done in a day or two, okay. And then once you decide about the customers, you can visit the customers maybe in a week or 10 days. You can visit all the customers. It's not that difficult, okay. But then why you need to do it again? The reason is that, as I said, your scarce resource of human, your time, you have to really put on the specific customers whom you think you can get the business output with a reasonable amount of efforts to put. Otherwise, what will happen? Somebody tells me that there's a customer of 100 tons per day production, let's say. I really go, jump, do all the activities, work with them, and then find that he is not going to pay me in 1 year's time. His habit is like that. I can't change him. If that is the case, all the efforts I have put, because what will happen is, as a salesman, for me, getting an order is something very important, okay. Once I get the order, then because the payment problem starts actually. This is a waste of time. So I have to be clear about all these aspects before even start putting the efforts there, okay. Somebody will tell me like this, sir, all fine, sir, but then if I know this customer thoroughly, I start working, maybe I will not be successful. Then what should I do? That is actually the the efficiency and effectiveness of the salesmanship that we will discuss in future videos. But what I am trying to say is that you have to be clear about your qualified prospects who actually becomes your customer. Those potentially can buy from you also your customers, okay. So that means the qualified prospects are the one who will eventually become your customers. the advantages of this whole process of suspecting, prospecting and qualified prospecting and making a customer, and the activities what we do with them, we'll cover in the future videos.